A couple of years ago, I took what was supposed to be a simple trip. I was flying from the US to Germany for a tech conference. Nothing dramatic, just a few days abroad, presentations, networking, and back home. My name is James Miller, the kind of name you don't think twice about, but apparently, someone else did. When I landed at Frankfurt Airport, everything seemed normal. I was tired, jet-lagged, and just wanted to get through immigration, grab a coffee, and get to my hotel. But as soon as the immigration officer scanned my passport, his expression changed. He looked up at me, no smile, no small talk, and said, "Please step to the side, sir." I froze. He didn't explain why, just waved over two more officers who quietly took my passport and escorted me into a small, windowless room off to the side. They sat me down and said my name had triggered a security alert. Then one of them dropped the bomb. There is an international arrest warrant for a James Miller, same first and last name. He's wanted for serious crimes, fraud, assault, and suspected human trafficking. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I said, "That's not me. I've never even been to Germany before today," but they didn't look convinced. I asked what part of my info matched the other James Miller, and they said, the name, the passport country, and the general age range. That's it. Not the photo, not the middle name, not the actual birth date. But still, they weren't taking any chances. They kept me in that room. No phone call, no clear answers. Just vague mentions of further checks and holding procedures. And for a moment, I genuinely thought I might be detained in a foreign country for something I didn't do. Then out of nowhere, someone knocked on the door. It was a man in his 30s, tall, wearing glasses and carrying a leather travel bag. He introduced himself as Mark Schneider, said he was an immigration lawyer, a dual citizen who had overheard part of the situation in line. He asked if he could speak on my behalf. The officers looked unsure, but he pressed, calmly but firmly. He explained that name matches alone aren't enough to hold someone. He cited immigration law, pushed for access to supervisor review, and kept insisting they check the biometric data properly. Turns out the James Miller they were looking for was nearly 15 years older than me, had a different middle name, and had facial tattoos. I had none of those things, but no one had looked close enough until Mark stepped in. He stayed with me for nearly 2 hours, patiently translating, explaining things I didn't understand, and never once made me feel like a burden. Eventually, they apologized, briefly, gave me my passport back, and just like that, I was free to go. Before Mark left, I turned to thank him and asked why he even got involved. He smiled and said, "You didn't look like you had anyone in your corner, and everyone deserves someone in their corner." I never saw him again after that, but that moment, the fear, the helplessness, and then the relief when someone stood up for me, I'll never forget it. Sometimes the most wholesome, life-changing moments come from strangers you never expected to meet.